After the Confederacy failed to invade the North twice, once at Antietam and then again at Gettysburg, the Union Army's confidence began to grow. Ulysses S. Grant, who had successfully taken over Tennessee, was given orders by President Lincoln to move south into Mississippi. His goal was to take control of the Mississippi River, to cut off contact between Confederate states in the West, such as Texas, Arkansas, and Louisiana, with Confederate states in the East, like Alabama, Mississippi, and Florida. To accomplish his goal, Grant needed to capture the last major Confederate fort on the Mississippi River, located at Vicksburg. Grant advanced south towards Vicksburg with 35,000 troops, and he had more on the way. The Confederates only had about 18,000 soldiers to defend the city. They were outnumbered almost 2-1. General Grant surrounded the city of Vicksburg and began a siege that lasted 40 days. The Confederate Army eventually surrendered on July the 4th, 1863. General Grant and the Union Army's victory at Vicksburg gave the North complete control of the Mississippi River. President Abraham Lincoln was so happy with General Grant that he ordered him back to Washington, D.C. to begin an attack on the Confederate capital of Richmond, Virginia. When Abraham Lincoln ordered General Ulysses S. Grant back to Washington, D.C., he needed someone to take over the Union Army that still remained in the South. William Tecumseh Sherman had served under General Grant during the battles of Fort Henry and Fort Donelson, as well as the battles of Shiloh and Vicksburg. Lincoln promoted William Tecumseh Sherman and ordered him to advance with the Union Army in the South to take Atlanta from the Confederates. Sherman and his men marched towards Atlanta and conquered the city in September of 1864. He was then ordered to march south through the state of Georgia to the city of Savannah on the Atlantic coast. General Sherman's advance from Atlanta to Savannah became known as Sherman's March to the Sea. Sherman and his men followed a scorched earth approach, meaning that they did not only destroy military targets, but also civilian targets, such as factories, stores, crops, and railroads. Their goal was not just to defeat the Confederate Army, but they also wanted to destroy the Southern economy and transportation networks to disrupt their entire way of life. Lincoln thought that this approach might finally end a long and difficult war.